Good day everyone, my name is Ogile Olawale, popularly known as Chief Wales, and today we'll be giving you some interesting analysis of a game that that was played during the Nigeria National Chess Championship qualifiers. We started yesterday, that's the 14th of August 2024. This it's very fantastic in the sense that we have 8 players have already qualified 3 direct entry into the national championship in both the male, or let me say opens, and the female category. Now there are 4 slots available for grabs, which the participants of these trials who have earned it either by rating or by winning the zonal championships, we have to play amongst themselves, and the top 4 out of them who qualify will go into the last 4 slots that is needed for the national championship, national chess championship invitational coming up later this year. This is a game between Emmanuel Ogechi versus Nzeako Treasure. This was a round 1 game, and this game was so explosive that I need to bring it up to the public to actually watch. The Caro fans, you guys will be very happy when you see this game, and it is very explosive, very explosive. The game started with e4, of course black plays c6, Emmanuel Ogechi is white and Nzeako Treasure is black. Knight f3, d5 was played, pawn takes pawn, of course d4, bishop f5. This is just standard because you don't want to play e6 immediately. Oh sorry, you don't want to play e6 immediately and lock your bishop inside, so it's best for you to bring your bishop as fast as possible. h3 was played, knight f6, knight c3, e6, knight h4, attacking the bishop going back to g6, and I think this is just standard, just removing that bishop there for white to be able to bring his own bishop to d3, you know, later in the game. a6, a3. I'm not an expert in this opening, but the likes of Lakpitola Durutimi has been playing this opening for a very long time. I think he's a fervent follower. The likes of Charles Campbell, candidate master Charles Campbell, has also been a follower of this opening in the time past before, you know, relocate. I don't know, maybe he's still playing this opening now, but at the end, this was one of his pet line. And bishop e3 was played here. Of course, we know black was trying to, you know, double the attacks on this pawn, and only the queen was protecting before. Now the bishop had to go back to protect the pawn. And guess what? Everybody would just think, you know, black would just try from here to just castle, you know, or probably bring this rook here, you know, just play something, you know, a little bit not too daring. And how many of you guys will have sworn that you will play knight takes b4 in this position? Boom, that's it, and fireworks started just like that. Move 14, fireworks started, and next thing, pawn takes, bishop takes, and now here we have the bishop pinning the knight to the king. And look at the problem. How exactly can you break the pin? Fine. Why black has sacrificed his knight for 2 pawns? The point is, if the bishop actually goes back to protect the knight, to break the pin, the 3rd pawn is going. So we have 3 pawns for a piece. This is a justifiable sacrifice, and this is very fantastic coming up from Nzeako Treasure at this very point in time. And queen d3 was played in game, which was a terrible blunder. Bishop d2 was still the best bet to go for it, you know, just, you know, cut your losses, you know. Bishop d2, cut your losses, but she went for queen d3, thinking that okay, probably Ogechi thought that you know, at least you will probably be able to bring a bishop backward later and castle, not knowing fully well that there is problem, that is really right now. When your piece is pinned, when you pin a piece, your job is to increase the number of attackers on the pin piece, and exactly, we have a knight jumping in, boobs, and now we have 2 pieces now attacking this knight. It would have been probably a wrong move to use the rook, because the rook actually had the chance to do it, but using the knight was the best of the best of the best. And why? Because now white had to now bring the bishop back. Now you look at this bishop has moved about 4 times in the opening. 4 times. The very first time the bishop was on f4, the next time the bishop went to g5, the bishop came back to e3, and now the bishop to e2. The bishop has moved 4 tempi. And absolutely, at the end of the day, the bishop isn't going to lose. Gonna get captured, knight takes bishop, booms, and king takes. Now this still reinforces the pin, but what else could he have? Could black have done? White have done. If white brings the queen back to take the knight, the pin is still there because now this rook is coming in there to increase the number of attackers on the pin piece again, and that looks like is of course definitely a free piece is going to happen there. So in the game, king takes. The pin is still reinforced, and we have the rook. Now we have two pieces attacking the knight. Of course, bishop takes is definitely, or rook takes is definitely a very good idea in this scenario. So the king got to run away. Like, okay, you know what? Let's lose the knight, and booms, knight just like that, gone, out, disappeared, smothered. The queen had to run away because of the attack. But where else? Where else can the queen move to? Maybe queen d2, which I don't think it's a very good idea. Queen d2 is not that much of a good idea because black is going to probably just bring the rook here. Exactly, bring the rook to a3, such that if the queen takes, and we have this wonderful rook takes check, and this other rook is also going bongos. Anyways, queen d1 was played in the game, and therefore we have the castle. Now you see the last piece is now introduced to the game. This is fantastic. In fact, what if I told you that this young lady played to like 95% accuracy in this game? She probably did not make any errors. So far so good with the Caro can. It is also worthy to know that this girl is a member of the Orchid Lekki Chess Club. So I guess there's some training that has been going into this for the young lady to play at this beautiful rate. Bishop to e3 was played, and we have rook there, increasing the number of attackers on this square. So white is in trouble anyway. So we have queen e2, and after queen e2 we have this queen takes the pawn. Now that's it, the pawn goes bongos again. Black is totally winning. It's just totally overwhelming. How can white even survive? I'm trying to see. There is no survival here. We have king ran away, and we have this beautiful bishop here, and now the threat is just queen check and queen mate. Isn't it? Yes, that's the threat, queen check and queen mate. But white decided to move the king here to a2, such that there will be no, that kind of idea will not happen. But guess what happened? E5 was played in this game. E5. Well, I don't think E5 is actually correct. E5 is not correct. I think probably this is the first error, because this is just a simple tactic here. We have rook takes pawn check, which is the best move. If the bishop takes, then we have a queen b2 checkmate. But what if queen takes first after? If the rook check, now look at the problem. If the rook checks and the king decides to take this king here, I think we have the simple queen takes pawn. The queen just comes to a4 checkmate, and GG's also. But in the game, e5 was played, so she missed mates in 2 or mate in 3 moves. But the position is overwhelming to the point that white here decided to play queen to e3. I don't know what queen to e3 is doing at the moment. Probably white is just looking at, let me just exchange this queen. If we can exchange this queen, then I would be better. But the problem right now is rook times c2 was played in the game, check, and now the same idea that we spoke about in the first place. If the king decides to capture the bishop, then we have this queen to a4 checkmate. In the game, white played bishop to c2, allowing us to see the beautiful finish of queen to b2 checkmate. Wow, Caro Khan fans, this is a wonderful game. I believe the likes of Lakpito Luadro will be proud of this game. Proud, at least more proud to be a member of the Caro Khan family. And well done. And NCC, to all the players are still playing, all the best. Remember, they are picking the top 4, the best 4 qualifiers for the championship, where you can become the national champion. Okay, let me not take your time for now. I remain sincerely yours, Uyile Olawale. Cheers, have a good one.